Hey, everyone. Tamika here with Megan, and we help moms be able to win in life one healthy habit at a time. And today we are going to share some personal stories with you, or I guess not really. Well, yeah, personal stories. We're going to talk about our 5 reasons why we said yes to this profession. So drop a 1 if you are watching us live, drop a 2 if you're catching the recording. And what we want to know is, what do we want to know? What we want to know.
If this resonates with you, give us some hearts, give us some hearts. That's what we want to know. Like, we just want to share our story in hopes that it can help others.
Exactly. That's what we want to know. What resonates with you. And as we're each sharing our 5 reasons why, get active in the comments. And we're just 2 moms. I'm a mom of 2 in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Megan's a boy mom in Arizona. She's got 3 busy boys. Mm-hmm. And we're just moms that decided we wanted more out of our lives and decided to go for it. So let's see. Where do we even start with this? When did you first find the profession? Let's go ahead and start with that.
With what? What'd you say?
When did you first find this profession? Like, when did it pop up for you?
Like 5.5 years ago, to be honest with you. And it was one of those things. I did hair. Hi, I'm Megan Gerke, by the way. I did hair for over 20 years. And I loved what I did, but I didn't love the hours. I was gone nights and weekends, long hours. And at the end of the day, once I started having a family, my priorities shifted. And I made really good money doing hair. And there was not a lot of other options to be flexible and have the option to make the same amount of money and still be home with my kids. So it's been about 5.5 years.
Yeah, if we have any hairstylists out there, say, hey. I found it almost 9 years ago now, almost 9 years exactly. And I was teaching high school math and coaching soccer. Same thing. I had a 1-year-old at home. I was working all of the time, teaching on my prep hour, waking up before the sunrise, coming home at sunset, not having very much time to spend with my family, pouring into everybody else, but my own personal health and the people that I cared about the most. And so when I saw this 9 years ago, I was skeptical at first. I was like, is this legit? But yeah, so I've been in the industry for 8 years now. So if any of this resonates with you, maybe you feel like you are literally working like crazy, burning the candle at both ends, not having the time that you wish to spend with your family, let us know.
Well, and I think it's important to say, like, we wanted to have that control of our time. We wanted to tell our time where it went, not the opposite. I mean, obviously, let's be honest, our kids kind of tell us that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's the most important thing, and, to take away from this. And I, like you, being a hairstylist, I had people talk to me about business like this all the time. And I will be honest, I wasn't kind of skeptical. I was majorly skeptical. I was like, nope, they're scams. I don't do them. Sorry. I mean, I didn't quite say it like that, but that's what was going on in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, looking back now, we're the exact kind of people that need something like this, that, you can have that time flexibility but we're both so, we like to work. We enjoy working. We enjoy making an impact on people's lives, whether it's, outer appearance with their hair, or, for me, it was like helping them be successful in math and have that light bulb click on, and like having those teaching moments or just those connection pieces. And, I thought I was too busy to do something like this too. And the truth is we're already doing it. We're already sharing things on social media. We're already talking to people about health, wellness, household hygiene, kids stuff, life stuff. Like, we're all already doing it. So I don't have time, not really an excuse anymore. We make time for what's important to us. And this, like I said, just gives you the flexibility to be able to start owning your own time a little bit more.
Right. That's so true, though. It's like, it really is. You will put the energy to what you find is important, which, I mean, if you're okay with it, I have a list here that I would love to share with you guys.
Yeah, I did.
We decided we were going to share our 5 reasons, but like I told you before, I'm like, 5 is tough. it is hard to keep it at 5 because the longer I've been here, the list just keeps growing and growing and growing. But the easiest, like my first reason why for me is my boys. I literally live and breathe for my children. And I just didn't, once you start having kids, you start to realize like, I want to be with them. And not even for the big stuff, little things. Like I always joke around, but I love being mom taxi. I at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm sick of being in my car. But at the same point, like my conversations that I have with my kids as I'm dropping them off. Well, my oldest one doesn't talk a whole lot because he's not a morning person, but you know what I'm saying? Like it gives us these opportunities to be there with our kids. If I was working my hairstyling job, I wouldn't have that as much, you know? And that was just the driving force for me to go, you know what? I am fearful. This is definitely something that is out of my wheelhouse, but I'm going to try it anyways because they were worth it. So that is my top reason why I do this, and still to this day. And actually why, like I said, I do everything. And 2, I also had a lot of weight to lose. And it started with that. I always say it started because I didn't want to look bad in a picture. Like it started for more, I like to say my vanity reasons, but it became more than that. Like it became like, wow, I realized I wasn't sleeping well. I realized I had terrible energy. I realized like I was out of breath very quickly. I realized my 3 boys were very active and I needed to keep up with them. So I wanted to be able to afford these, you know, supplements, and I couldn't. And then of course, once I started taking them, my husband wanted in. So I love that not only do we earn an income, but it helps pay for our products as well. So that was huge for me.
And your results are amazing. I like every time I see them, I'm like, you're a totally different person, like inside and out. Like you're just
inside and out.
You're confident and you want to help other people. And I feel like a lot of times we feel like we can't help other people until we help ourselves, you know, but there's power in doing it along the way, like using a business like this to help you stay accountable, to make changes in your family. You know, you don't have to get the results in order to start the business. It is a process with it.
It totally isn't, because like I'm very yellow, which my motivation comes from like wanting it for others. So by me showing up and sharing my journey, it's how, you know, it's in hopes of helping others. And so that's kind of what holds me accountable. It totally is. And then 3, honestly, like I said, when I was first rambling on, the income potential. I looked into a lot of jobs. I looked at working at my kids' school. I looked at working at our church, but I would still need a little bit of care, which meant more money out the door. And they just didn't pay me what I was making doing hair. And so I was like, okay, how, and not to mention, like you said, when you don't have time, like how, if you're already busy, how are you going to go, if you want that extra income, how are you going to go, I would say, get a 20-hour, 30-hour side job at Target? How are you going to do that, right? You already don't have the time, where this can fit into such like tiny little increments. And that is just, you just start to see the potential, and it's like, why not me?
Yeah. And it's also like a way to leverage your income too. So, you know, the typical 9-to-5 job is it's you exchanging your time in for money, right? Like you have to, like, it's a 1-for-1 exchange. And with this, you know, like you get one customer on, and then you got residual income, especially if they continue ordering month after month after month. And then, you know, you bring on a teammate, and now all of a sudden, you know, they're booming and they're taking off and they're signing customers. And then with our referral program that we have, your customers are loving their products. They're sharing them with people because it's just what we naturally do. And so it's no longer you exchanging time for dollars. It's now, you know, the time that you put in once can now pay you multiple times. And, you know, as you learn systems and duplicate these different systems and processes that we have, then you're almost like duplicating yourself. I mean, drop a 3 in the comments if you've ever said as a mom, if there could just be more than one of me.
That's true.
And, you know, that's the power of social retail. That's the power of a network marketing business, is that it's not just you anymore. And you can really leverage the time that you do have and create residual income that you can count on over and over and over again from the work that you did once.
Well, and I think it's important to know that, like, if you've never done anything like this, the wrapping your head around that is really hard. So you kind of just got to take that baby step and learn as you go. And also, not everybody does it full time like you and I.
No.
Some people use this as a supplemental income, a vacation fund. I've literally had somebody tell me they want a tattoo fund, like, I mean, and which I think is awesome. But, like whatever it is that you want, that maybe maybe you need money for your kids' college that you want to store away, and whatever it is. And so that's another thing, like it can be anything you want it to be. I mean, they say like, what is it? The average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
And passive income is ideal.
Right.
But in that, and honestly, that kind of brings me to my next point is, well, I was with another company before this, and I'm so grateful for my journey. It has absolutely helped me in the start of who I was growing into be. But it just, things changed, and I just knew there was something different out there. They kept telling me, oh, you need systems in place. Well, we never had any systems. There was no system that I could follow, and it was hard for me to turn around and tell somebody else what to do. I knew what I was doing, and I did okay, but I couldn't duplicate that, like you said, and with here we have that. It's so simple. In fact, I always tell people, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't just come in here, be a sponge, and learn these systems. Keep it simple, because you will find success. You will, if you just do the things and keep doing the things.
Right. Consistency is key.
It really is. It's like what I say, like, it's not that this is hard. What's hard is staying consistent. I feel like for every one of us, and that's just in anything, or should I say consistent in the right things.
That's true. That's very true. And, and like we get to work together, like we have a group chat where we're constantly sharing like ideas or challenges, and we do power hours together where,
Right.
if you're available, you can hop on in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and work with people. And, a lot of times it's not talking, but it's just like that accountability piece and connection piece, which is really important.
I was just going to say, a lot of people also join a business like this. Really, the money is just kind of like a bonus, but the community that you get and the support, especially those of us that are busy, like I don't have time to be out hanging out with my girlfriends.
Right.
So like, I feel like this is like a social life for me. And it's just like, I've met some of the most amazing people, whether it's been because of this business that they're not really in the business with me, or they're in this business with me and they just lift me up. And so there's that aspect too. It's not always about money.
Yeah.
And so,
and even the connections that you get with people in other businesses, like it just kind of opens your eyes to almost a totally new world of women that empower women that want you to be successful, not that are like constantly trying to cut you down or stab you in the back or talk poorly of you. Like it's literally like we really support and love each other. And that's very rare, I feel like, in the corporate world.
It is. And you can't unsee that once you've been a part of it, that you want that for yourself, I mean, so sorry, my phone keeps going off here. And then I just wanted to share like the last thing, and it kind of resonates with why I moved to this company, was I wasn't seeing, I was doing okay and my uplines are doing fantastic.
Right.
But the people coming in after that, I just saw so many people the money was going out and not coming in. And I'm just like, I'm not okay with that, and I felt like the people that were on the top were getting all the incentives, all the things, the paychecks. And it's like, that just didn't sit well with me. I just had this like troubling feeling in my gut, and that wasn't how it always was. So that's not, things just changed. And so I wanted to go somewhere where I knew no matter where you set in the company, whether you're day one or day, 1,000, that you had the same opportunities and that everyone can achieve the same things. And within 2 months, I noticed that. I'd earned my first incentive trip. I've never earned an incentive trip in 4.5 years of my last company. And it was like, crazy.
Unfortunately, and I love too, like seeing those messages come in of these people that were with other companies before and being like, oh my gosh, I actually promoted. Oh my gosh, I actually made more money than what I spent. Oh my gosh, like I earned this award. I earned this prize. I earned this incentive. And it's just so much fun. And they make it like equal opportunity for everybody. Like regardless, like you said, if you just started or you've been in for a while, everybody can earn everything.
I agree. I totally agree. I would love to hear
My 5 things. So it's interesting, like as you were talking, I was like, oh, that's one of mine. Oh, that's one of mine. So I know that we're going to touch on some of the same things, but obviously we're different people with different experiences. And I'd love to know, those of you who are watching live, which of Megan's really stand out to you? Is it, the health? Is it that you want to see other people win? Maybe you've won in your life, but you want to see other people. Is it the community, the systems? Like, you touched on so many good things. But for me, when I think about it, like I said, I saw this 9 years ago, this industry, this profession, and I was very skeptical about it. And my friend asked me if I would try products. I told her no. She stayed consistent. And I kept watching until I was like, okay, sure, let me try it. And I tried it and it worked and I got results and I was excited about it. And then she asked if I'd do the business. And I told her, no, I have a real job, right? I was a school teacher. I went to college. I had a degree, I had a certificate that said that I was qualified. And I was exchanging my dollars for hours and money that I could depend on. And then there came a point, I remember it perfectly. It was December of 2014 where I was on Christmas break and I was just sitting there with my family and I just kind of broke down. I had a 1-year-old and I was with my husband and we knew we wanted to get pregnant with baby number 2. And I was literally working myself to death. I had the worst anxiety. I didn't want to check my email because I didn't want to see anything from the parents, from the administration. I was always working. And I was like, how can I be the mom that I want to be, bring in another baby, put them both in daycare, have my whole teacher check go to paying someone else to watch my kids. And I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I like to be busy. I like to feel like I'm being productive and making an impact in people's lives. And so I was terrified to be like, well, it just makes sense for me to stay home. And so when I was looking at the opportunity, my very first one, and looking at the different products, I thought, I could work hard enough to make $50 a month. So that way I could pay for a product that I want to use. So now, since I'm not going to be bringing in my own money, I don't want to spend my husband's money on products. Like this was just like a really big shift for me, not being able to have my own money. And so I was like, okay, I can do this business and the money that I make, I can buy my own personal wants with. And then my husband is going to cover the rest of our bills and stuff. And so that's kind of how it all started for me. My first want was to be able to cover my products. I wasn't as healthy as I wanted to be. Thinking about getting pregnant with baby number 2, I wanted to finish losing baby number 1's weight. And so I wanted to pay for my products. That was my reason number 1. And then what happened as I got started is all of a sudden I was paying for my products and paying for my phone bill and then paying for my car payment. And then my husband made the mistake. He said, if you keep paying your car payment, you can get a new car. And I was like, wait, what? And so, I worked really hard. And this is while I was still teaching full time, teaching on my prep hour, coaching the soccer team. And then I got pregnant and I was one of those pregnant ladies that were sick all of the time, literally puking in the middle of a math lesson. And so, there's no excuses. I worked sun up to sundown with no break, pregnant, tired, all the things, but I was still able to replace my full-time teaching income in 7 months and earn a bonus that helped me pay for a car. And so that's when it opened up to me that was like, man, you can make whatever you want here.
Exactly. Well, and I feel like that's the point too. One thing I want to point out is, well, a couple things. One, it's baby steps. It's not like we necessarily came in or all right, I'm going to make 10 grand or whatever. It was just okay, if I can, do this, I can do that, pay for my products, whatever. And then it's that you slowly start to grow into, you see the potential and you just start to grow and grow and grow. And that's the thing. It's just taking that leap and then going from there. And, really, we don't do this because we have the time. We do it to make time. And I know that's can be so cliche to say, but it really is true. Look at where you're at now, right, to where you were when you started. And same thing. I was when my clients were processing, I was quick messaging people and doing the things that I need to do. And it was we found time. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden we created this more time.
Right. Now we're home at 11 o'clock in the morning. My kids are at school. Yours are over there. And we completely own our own time because we said yes when it would have been more convenient to say no. So
and we didn't give up on ourselves.
Right. That too. I mean, that's that's the number one thing. Here we are, like I'm almost a decade later, you know, like that's crazy. So my reason, my next reason was to impact others. You know, like I said, I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I really enjoyed being productive and teaching kids math and seeing those light bulbs pop on. And you know, that's what gives me purpose in life. That's what fills my cup, is to be able to help other people. And so, you know, one thing that's definitely kept me in this business is the impact that I can make. When I started this business, I actually only had 200 friends on Facebook. I had no TikTok. I had no Instagram. I had 200 friends, and I just done a Facebook clean. So I was like, like I don't have any like people I don't want on my page. Like this is amazing. But so, you know, within the last 8 years of being in the profession now, you know, I've grown my followers on Facebook to 25,000, my Facebook friends to 5,000. I've got Instagram, you know, before my TikTok got shut down the first time, I had over 50,000 followers on there. And like, I've been able to connect with so many more people and make a positive impact on men and women's lives, moms, single moms, widows, you know, young teenagers, and, you know, up to grandmas. I've been able to help and make a positive impact on so many more people's lives by being in this profession. And it just is what totally fills my cup. And so having that opportunity to still be able to do that while working from home is such a blessing.
Well, and money, you know, it goes back to money. Money makes you happy for a short amount of time. It's the connections and the turning around to help others. That's what's going to sustain you. That's what fills you here. And for me, it's like I said, you know, earning an income is great, but it's so much more than that gives you that passion and that fire to want to do it. And again, we didn't know what we were going to gain. We just went with this gut feeling. I would assume you probably had the same thing. It was just like one of those things, like I kept having this gut feeling and I kept thinking about it. And then finally I was just like, you know what? Clearly I'm supposed to at least try this. Like I had literally nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like give us like some vibes or something if you're one of those people that are probably secretly watching, but a little bit afraid to be like, you know, I'm a little afraid to jump in, just like you said, you know, you secretly watch for a while. I feel like we all do. That's how I started too. I mean,
let's get those secret people out. Like drop 5 if you've been watching, you've been considering.
Right. Yes. If you don't want to drop in the comments, message to the person that, you know, had you hop on, or if you're in our network, you know, reach out to us, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I watched for 10 months before I said yes. And I just think, oh my gosh, if I would have said yes earlier, like how would things be different? You know,
right?
Sitting and watching and continuing to think about it does nothing to change your future whatsoever. No. So my next one is, I didn't realize this, but one of the things that keeps me in this is the friendship. I have never been a really good friend. You know, I was very busy in high school. I played soccer year round. I worked at Subway and I worked another job at an indoor soccer facility. And so I just didn't have a lot of time for friends. And then I got married at 18 and then divorced and then went back to college. And, you know, I had some college friends, but same thing. I was just focused on soccer, focused on schoolwork, then got married, moved to a town I didn't know anybody, taught school. So, I mean, I just really haven't ever had any friends, like girlfriends, like best friends that I'm like, hey, like, let's hang out. And when I would see my friend that I originally saw posting things, she was always out traveling with friends. Like she always, like, her and her mom friends were doing things while their kids played. And just that community and friendship, I was always kind of like jealous of, that I wanted for myself. And so now, like, I mean, headed to North Carolina to meet some teammates. I got to meet you in person in Arizona. And like, here we are doing this live and we didn't even know each other a year ago. And like, you just the friendships that you're able to build. Like I said, it's women empowering women, people that support each other. And now I've got girlfriends. Like I can like call up and be like, hey, let's hop on Zoom and paint our nails. Or, you know, like, hey, I'm coming to your town. Like, can we get together? And so it's really fun to feel like I have friends, like real, genuine, loving friends.
It is so good. And, you know, one thing I wanted to point out was, you know, how you're like, I know I secretly was jealous. I wanted it. Like, kudos to you for doing something about it. You know, like you said, like if it's something you want, you deserve it. Like go for it, you know, go after it, you know? And so that's just something I want to encourage. I mean, I talked about this yesterday on my personal page, and it was just like, just go for it. Start taking the action steps towards it. You'll know if it's not meant for you. You'll have the feeling, and or you'll know that it's for you. You know, so I think that's really cool.
So it's funny. My very last one is the exact same as yours. So how random is that? I wrote, I like to win. Okay. And so I was winning in my last company. I was top 68. I had been on like conference panels and, like corporate trainings, and I was making really, really good income. And what I noticed once again is that my team wasn't winning. People were coming in and spending more than they were making. People were like not being able to promote through the ranks because of the way that things were. And like you said, we were both in the same company. We didn't know each other though, and it wasn't always like this, but things changed that allowed, really, I felt like just the people at the top to win. And, you know, it was an equal opportunity. Everybody could win, but there just weren't the right systems in place. And it was taking way more work. And we were promising people a life of freedom. You know, we were like, listen, like if you come in and you do these tasks, then you can be successful. And now all of a sudden the things that we were doing weren't qualifying them like they used to because of the changes. And so, and it became more numbers focused rather than people focused, and just work more. And we were trying to have a life of freedom. And so when I saw this company here and I saw the compensation plan and I saw the many different ways that people could win, because you don't want to have a business or like a game plan where there's only one way to get to the finish line, especially when we're all different.
Absolutely.
And
that's so true.
Yeah. And so the fact that here people can win if they just want to focus on a customer pod, they can win if they want to focus just on being a business builder. They can win if they just want to focus on mover points. They can win if they just want to focus on, you know, the extra bonuses that are embedded in the compensation plan or whatever perks the company has for that month. And so there's just a variety of different ways to win, which means that people can go in their strengths, use the systems that are already set out, and they can start winning too. And just like I was mentioning when you were talking, it's been so amazing and just kind of fills my cup with all of the things, with having people get results, having people actually make money, having people have friends and community that they never had before, having people message me and tell me about the impact they're making on other people's lives, you know, whether it's products, business, or just having the confidence to go live, or having the confidence to put out a reel, or the confidence to, you know, start posting more vulnerable things on their social media. Like people are winning here. And that is what's most important to me. Is it's not about me. It's about how many people I can help. And to have a system, a vehicle that does that, I mean, you can't beat it.
It's so true. It's not about us, it's about the people we can help. And that, honestly, I guess I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming you're probably going to say something similar. That is exactly why I made the switch.
Yep.
It really wasn't just about me, because, you know, when it's for you, you can kind of just, all right, put my head down and go to work, you know. But like when it involves other people that you care about, you have to do what you feel is best. You know, I knew when I left and moved, I was starting over. And I was okay with that, knowing that this is in the end going to suit people better. Like it's going to help them in the long run, whether it be the products. I mean, people are getting results like crazy, and it's just, and I love that, you know, they're ordering their products because they love them, not because they're stuck in an auto ship, for the record.
Yep.
And just, it was having that leap of faith again to just go, you know what? At the end of the day, that's why I'm doing this, is because I want more people to be impacted.
Yep. I love it. Well, I'm so glad that we got to do this. Thanks for helping me out at the beginning. My brain just went lost. So I hope that some of this, you guys, resonated with you. And if it did, be sure to share it in the comments or send us a personal message, or whoever invited you to watch this live, because we truly love what we do and we're grateful for the opportunity. And we want to share it with everyone, because in the world that we live in today, one job, one stream of income just really doesn't cut it. So we want to make sure that we are sharing this out to everybody and letting you know that we're open to sharing information. There's never any pressure to join. You got to feel like it's a good fit for you, whether, you know, you can jive well with our team, with who we are, and then what your ultimate goals are. So that way we can make sure that we can create a game plan to help you reach them. But this was awesome, Megan. Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, let us know.
I just want to say one last thing before we leave, that if you do reach out and you kind of get to know us, you will realize pretty soon you start believing in yourself, because that's what catches on fire here. We will make you believe in yourself. That's for sure.
Yes. I love it. Thanks for ending that like that. That's perfect. Okay. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.